Where are my black wings? What's up guys, Dave Nader 122. It's another discussion video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about legacy support and reprints. Konami has been on this nostalgia kick for the last year now, starting with I think probably Shining Victories with the Blue Eyes support. But even before that, we've had trickles of legacy support for old decks, as well as taking one old card from like Yugioh's deck and making an entire deck around it, whether it be Blackluster Soldier, Gaia the Fierce Knight, Curse of Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician. Those are all like decks, or at least archetypes now. It really begs the question what Konami can do to keep this up, because clearly this seems to be working for them, otherwise they wouldn't keep doing it, and from what I can tell, the player base actually enjoys it. Millennials are like nostalgia junkies. We love that shit. Only 90s kids would remember these 10 shows. Stuff like that on our Facebooks and our MySpaces. Did you subscribe to my MySpace? All of the Steves. Pretty much on any social media platform, nostalgia is king. Seems like no matter what we do, we can't get away from this kind of strange sense of fuzziness we get from when we play an old deck that we used to play when we were kids. Although it does seem like Konami may have forgotten some of the older decks in favor of supporting older cards to make them into decks. In this video, I'd like to kind of start a dialogue, get you guys talking in the comments below about it, because obviously you can sit here for 20 minutes and listen to me yammer at the camera, but it's really a discussion video after all, so, comment, please, about what archetypes you think should actually get some legacy support that Konami seemingly has forgotten about. And when I say legacy support, I don't mean like more Blue Eyes support. It's been 2 sets. No. I'm talking like Venoms. This deck barely got any cards for it, and it's got a really cool mechanic. Basically, you poison your opponent's monsters, and the more Venom counters they accrue through card effects, the weaker they become, and eventually are killed by their field spell if their attack becomes 0. That mechanic is extremely slow, but they got a really decent trap card, as well as access to Snake Rain, which is one of the best mill cards in the game, just it doesn't have a deck to play it. There's easily something here that Konami could do to make this deck actually work. Sure, you have Venom Anaga and the other one that are win conditions, but they'd have very little to do with the rest of the archetype, but I'm not even positive they're technically the same deck. But like an in-archetype version of Ragna Zero could be really cool. And obviously more monsters, because it's got like 3 or something like that. One of them's a vanilla. And it'll never happen because it was a TCG exclusive archetype, and Beatrice seems to be an exception to the rule, not the rule itself, is UAs. Oh, UAs could use another normal summonable monster. I'm sorry, it could be a vanilla monster. It could literally be a 2K defender, lineman, and just be a wall, but as long as it's normal summonable, the deck would function. I have a video here of me actually coding up and designing my own card for UAs. It's a kind of a Evil Swarm caster for the deck, where they can actually get you an extra normal summon when it's played to the field. It totally breaks the deck, you guys can check that out. UAs had a really cool concept where the actual mechanics of the deck kind of make sense with the theme of the deck. They're sports, so you have an offense and a defense, and on your opponent's turn you play your defensive cards, on your turn you play your offensive cards. Sense. It was really cool, but cool and good aren't the same thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! And before you comment down below, I just remembered that Breakers of Shadow came out before Shining Victories, so that would be the first nostalgia set, I think. But anyways, that kind of segues into Red Eyes Black Dragon. Not the oldest deck I wanted to talk about, but it is kind of worth mentioning because in this case, it's not a deck that needs legacy support because it got a whole set of it. It just didn't get very good legacy support, which almost seems worse. Instead of just ignoring the deck, they gave Red Eyes essentially kind of a crummy burn mechanic. I guess the card Inferno Fire Blast is a burn card, so it made sense to base the whole deck around it, but the thing is, they gave it Geminis and shit, and that doesn't make any sense. So it ends up being just kind of a clumsy burn deck with rank 7 options, meaning the deck seems to lack direction, which is annoying because it's got a cool fusion monster and it's got a really good fusion spell, but it doesn't seem to do very well because reasons. So even a deck like that could kind of be an option for you guys, but I'd like to kind of try to stick to older stuff. But anyway guys, let me know in the comments below a certain deck that you think could really use some legacy support. Now it can't be a lost cause, as long as it's not something stupid like Arcana Force where it's all coin flips and you really can't make that good. But I am really curious on what decks you guys like to play and what decks you really feel could, you know, use a couple of cards to bring them back up to relevancy. Anyway guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and remember guys, if you don't troll the meta, who will? I'll see you guys next time.